Welcome to the Martensville Speedway in Virginia for the fifth round of the Saskatchewan Stock Car Championship. My name is Mark. This is Short Shift Broadcasting. In the booth tonight will be also Jordan Berry with me here. And let's take a quick look at the information for this race here. The Martensville Speedway is a half-mile long. It's located in Martensville, Virginia. The current ambient temperature is 76 degrees Fahrenheit. We have 58% humidity and a partly cloudy sky and no winds to speak of. So the track temperature is currently shown as 81 degrees, which is not extremely hot, but it's not very cold either, so it shouldn't bother the drivers all that much. Now, here in Martensville tonight, we're going to do some heat races and then a last chance qualifier of 25 laps and a feature race of 100 laps. And only in the feature race we will count the yellow laps in the race. So we got a pretty good sized field here. It looks like we have 24 drivers that have entered this race, so quite a good field, I would say. And let's take a quick look here at the championship standings. We have 4 races under our belt, and the standings are currently looking like this. It's Thomas McGregor in the lead, and he's 4 points ahead of Ray Murnau. And then you see Jeremy Brooks and Kevin Dick equal at 155. Then it's Rob Naismith with 139, and Sam Howlett, Tom Queering, Kelly Admiral with points very, very close together there. Carson Nagy, Kyle Steckley, Matthew Shirley, and then it's Jordan Dalsgaard in the 12th spot with 100 points. So this championship has given us some close racing, and it reflects in the point standings. So let's say hi to Jordan Berry. Jordan, how you doing tonight? And Jordan's not here yet. So we're taking away the final few moments of the practice session that these guys are having. This race tonight is going to be brought to you by Travis Queering Realty. We're going to be doing 100 laps in the feature. We very much appreciate his support for this race and for this series. Without the support of local companies like yours, we could not get all of this done. So let's take a look and see who's all in on the track here still. You're looking at Jordan Dalsgaard, and he's trying to use his time that he's got on the track for sure. And we can take a quick look at the practice results, if we may. No, we cannot. We're jumping right into qualifying. And let's see if we can find somebody on track that's setting a time already. Qualifying is done individually for these drivers, so they cannot see each other on the track. And but we can see all of them, whoever we select. So let's take a look here, and the first car out, it looks like, is Kelly Admiral in the number 8 car. And we have Dean Qualley out here on the track as well. Let's stay with him for a couple of laps maybe. And looks like pretty much all the guys are coming out on the track to set a qualifying time. Ray Murnau posts the first time here in the 03, a 19.36. He's on the provisional pole at this point. It's Jordan Dalsgaard behind him in the second spot, and David Rockwood in the number 90, and he's already being overtaken here by several other names. It's going pretty quick once those lap times start coming in. Currently, it's Jeremy Brooks in the 53 in the pole position with a 19.33, and he's only 1/1000th of a second quicker than Kyle Steckley at this point. So it's going to be pretty close up front here. That's pretty sure already. Well, tail end's sliding out there a little bit. Let's see what his second lap is going to bring us. And it looks like he's not able to improve on that pole time that he set in his first lap. So the 53 of Jeremy Brooks, still on the provisional pole with a 1940.47 as time. Here's Tom Queering. It looks like Tom Queering is still out there in the 46 car with the sponsor's beautiful paint job here. And it looks like Tom has ran a 19.50 as a best time. Carson Nagy, he's practicing donuts already. That's optimistic. Rob Naismith in the 71, still out there. Posted a 19.68 for a fastest lap. And he is pretty much only 1,000th of a second apart from Brian Morrison in 17th position. 22 drivers have posted a time. Logan Jewell has not posted a time just yet. We still have a little bit, about a little over a minute and a half here in the qualifying session. Let's see Brian Morrison, and he's done with his session. He parks it, and looks like there is currently nobody on the track. So let's give you that quick overview here once again for the Travis Queering 100 here in Martensville in Virginia. As I said, half-mile track. We're going to be doing, I'm fairly sure we're going to be doing 3 heats, but I've been wrong before on those because I know the guys, the first 5 guys in every heat are going to go through to the feature race. And then there is a last chance qualifier for 25 laps, and it should be the best 3 of that will continue on to the feature. We were looking at the computer settings earlier, and we're not sure if that's going to be the case, but that's the way it was intended anyway. And then a 100 lap feature, so we're going to be in for a good night of racing here. It looks like the weather's fine. We're under the lights here in Martensville, partly cloudy skies, no wind to speak of. The track temperature is actually cooling down already a little bit here because of sundown. It's only 79 degrees Fahrenheit now. That is not an extremely hot track, so that should give the drivers a good grip here for this race. So couple of more minutes in qualifying, ticking away. No, half a minute. We're almost there. And then we'll take a look and see the first grid for the first heat. And for those of you that have been following the Saskatchewan Stock Car Championship, we've been doing different things each week. We've been on dirt, we've been on very short ovals, we've been on bigger tracks, we've used the street stocks, we've used the super late models like tonight, and we've used the Monte Carlo SS as well. So we try to bring you some variety when it comes to this championship. And let's take a look here quickly at the first heat. The grid is going to be looking as follows. It's going to be Jeremy Brooks in the first spot, and then it's Ray Murnau. Outside of him, Kevin Dick in the 3rd spot, Tom Queering in 4th. 5th is going to be Jordan Dalsgaard, then it's going to be Justin McLeod. David Rockwood in 7th. 8th is going to be Jody Archer. 9th is going to be Brian Morrison. 10th is going to be Colton Evernham. 11th is going to be Patrick Shermans. 12th is going to be John Berry. And that should do it. No, one more driver here. Logan Jewell is, he didn't post a qualifying time, but he's going to grid up here in the 13th spot. So it looks like we're only going to be doing 2 heats, if I see that correctly. And cars are gridding up now. We're looking, I think we're still waiting for Kevin Dick to grid up here. That empty spot behind the pole sitter, that's going to be Kevin Dick in 3rd spot. And now we've also lost, so it looked like Jeremy Brooks had a little bit of a blink there. And it looks like well, maybe Kevin is deciding not to start. I don't know. There he is. Now the field is complete. And you may see the name of Jordan Berry on your screen. He was in practice, but he's not going to be racing tonight. So that name is going to be in there in scoring because he entered the practice session, but he's not going to be there. So the field is complete. We've got 12 drivers that are going to start in 13 positions because of that, and waiting for the pace truck to roll off. And we should be doing only one warm-up lap here on a half-mile track, maybe two. It's a little different for every track in iRacing. And we're rolling. Take a look at the guys up front here. That's Jeremy Brooks in the 53 car. And then alongside him, the 03 of Ray Murnau. And all in this championship, they've been here pretty much every time, I believe. Running strong every race. And then we have Tom Queering in the 46 car there. And that's Kevin Dick on his inside in the third spot. And it looks like we're doing another pace lap. The pit entry and the pit exit are on the backstretch on this track, which is a little bit unusual, but it's not that big of a track, and it has plenty of room for pit stalls. And the truck's now going in. Jeremy Brooks gets to set the pace through 3 and 4. It looks like Brooks has got a little bit of an issue with the connection there. There we go. Jeremy Brooks gets a jump on the field here, takes the lead in front of Ray Murnau and Kevin Dick on the inside there. Tom Queering on the outside. And the field is rolling beautifully. No big issues here. Jeremy Brooks has the lead, Ray Murnau in second, and Kevin Dick in third, Tom Queering in fourth, and Jordan Dalsgaard in the fifth spot. And back there we see Jody Archer, he picks up a spot here, passing Justin McLeod, and that is the 10th position. Let's bring her back up front here. Looks like Ray Murnau is closing in on Jeremy Brooks, and they're leaving Kevin Dick behind a little bit there. About 7/10 of a second back to him. And Amorno almost loses it. Brooks actually scrapes the wall there as well. You saw the sparks flying up there. And it looks like they're pretty evenly matched here. Murnau trying to catch back up with him again. Let's take a quick look here at Kevin Dick. He's now solidly in third, trying to catch up with Ray Murnau and Jeremy Brooks. Tom Queering in the fourth position, Jordan Dalsgaard behind there, and it's David Rockwood trying to get on his lower side and steal that position away from him. And it looks like they're side by side on the backstretch here. Can he get it done in 3? No, not quite. The 17's got that higher line. Now the 90 noses ahead here. And it looks like David Rockwood is taking that 5th position away from him now. Let's bring her back up front because Ray Murnau is doing his best to catch up with Jeremy Brooks in the 53. And it looks like the 53 is a little bit careful on the entry there. Kevin Dick trying to close that gap to the 03. And we have a yellow flag. Let's see if we can figure out quickly what has happened. The 17 and the 90. Let's bring it back a little bit further here. It's the 90 turning in while the 17 was still there. He wasn't clear turning in and turns them both around. And the 92 there having a little trouble getting around there as well. Unfortunate for both of them. Alright, so behind the pace car, and in these heats the yellow laps do not count. We're going to do 10 green lap races, green flag race laps in this heat. So let's go through the field here just for a little bit. You saw Jeremy Brooks and Ray Murnau, they're still up front, and my scoring is acting up somewhat strange here. And that's because we're not counting the lap. So I apologize for that. Let's go back to what we were doing. Kevin Dick here in the third position, and it's Tom Queering holding on to that fourth position, and it is the 90 of David Rockwood that is in fifth. Colton Evernham in sixth now. Brian Morrison in seventh. And the number 22 of Justin McLeod is in the eighth position. Then it's Logan Jewell in ninth. 10th is Patrick Shermans. And the 7 of Jody Archer is in 11th. And then it's Jordan Dalsgaard that has to restart himself from the back end there because of that incident we just saw. So I apologize for the jumping of the order there, but that's because the yellow laps are not counted. Hope it's not too confusing. Waiting for the pace laps to end here, and it looks like the lights on the pace car are still on. As we're coming on the main straightaway, they should be going out anytime soon. Let's roll along here with the leader just for a second. And it looks like the lights are still on, so we're not quite ready to go green just yet. And we can try and see if we can find Jordan here and see if there's what the damage report is on that car. It looks like he's just slightly bent up on that left quarter panel there, but that's not going to hurt him all that much. We're not going fast enough for Aero to make any kind of impact on these guys right now. We're running about close to 120 miles an hour on the straightaways, and then in the turns they're going back down to 65, 70 miles an hour. So at those kinds of speeds, the Aero is really not a big a deal. And I gotta fix something real quick here under yellow. And bring Jordan back in here, because you're probably wondering why we're not hearing Jordan, and I bet you he is too.
Green flag, green flag.
Well, let me do that in just a moment, because we're back racing here. And it looks like Jeremy Brooks is still in the lead. Ray Murnau is following him in second. Kevin Dick in third. Tom Queering in fourth. And it looks like they're stretching out just a little bit. Pretty much the same as they did before the yellow flag. It's Ray Murnau keeping up with Brooks pretty good, and then it's Kevin Dick a little bit further back. Now it looks like Kevin is catching up on Ray Murnau, and Tom Queering is following there in the fourth position. So let's look at Kevin Dick here for a moment and see if he can get closer to Ray. And it's David Rockwood still in fifth, Colton Evernham still in sixth behind there, and it looks like Dalsgaard's already picking up a couple of positions as well. He is now ahead of Jody Archer. Ray Murnau here. Oh, and it looks like Jeremy Brooks is scraping that car against the wall once again. And he looks like he's all right. We're on the final lap of this first heat here. It looks like Jeremy Brooks is going to bring her home in the first spot. And then it's Ray Murnau and Kevin Dick following him. And let's... All right, let me bring up that first heat result here before we get going on the second one. And I got to fix the connection with Jordan here really quickly. There we are. Let me get into the booth here. And I hope Jordan can now see that I'm back in here. That's the results of the first heat. Let's quickly go to the grid of the second heat. And on the first spot there, it's Kyle Steckley. Then it's Thomas McGregor, and alongside him, third is Nagy, fourth is Admiral, fifth is Matthew Shirley, then it's Brent Just, and then it's Dean Qualley in seventh, Rob Naismith in eighth, Ryan Thompson in ninth, Neil Schneider is in 10th, Ronald Just is in 11th, and Brendan Forsyth is in the 12th spot. And that is the grid for your second heat here. Let me see here. I'll bring this one back for you, and let me see if I can get in touch with Jordan here. And I currently can't reach Jordan. I hope he can see that I'm here now, so he'll be able to move himself in the booth here with me. Kyle Steckley in the number 24 car, fresh new paint job it looks like, and the number 75 of Thomas McGregor alongside him there. And cars lining up, looks like everybody's eager to go. The pace truck's going inside into the pit lane, and it's up to Kyle Steckley to get this show on the road.
Green flag, green flag.
There we go, green flag is flying. Kyle Steckley gets a good start here, gets away pretty good. He brings Nagy along with him on that inside line. The 75 seems to be losing out on the higher side a little bit. It's Kelly Admiral right behind him. And Nagy and McGregor there right alongside each other. Nagy in the second spot, Thomas McGregor third. Kelly Admiral is in the fourth spot. Shirley is in fifth, and it's Dan Qualley in sixth. And let's stay up here with the pack here on the front. And it looks like McGregor is sticking there with Nagy pretty good, and Kelly Admiral is hanging with him. It looks like Kyle Steckley is getting away from him a little bit, but no such problems for McGregor. He can hold on to Nagy's rear end there pretty good. And let's see if he can find a way past him. He's bringing it underneath there now, but he doesn't get the chance because the caution comes out, and actually it's Nagy also being touched by Thomas McGregor. Thomas McGregor wasn't ready to quit that yet. And let's see back here what's going on. It's the 93 of Neil Schneider. The 33 of Neil Schneider being touched by the 93 of, that is Neil Schneider, actually. It's the 33 of Ryan Thompson. And of Ronald Just. I apologize. We have a couple guys with the same numbers. So it's Ronald Just being touched by Neil Schneider. We can bring that back again for you here real quickly. The 33 of Ronald Just, the yellow car, and then the greenish car there, the 93 of Neil Schneider, taps him on the left rear, turns him around, and that brings out the caution. And up front, it is still Steckley leading the pack with Carson Nagy right behind him. Then it's Thomas McGregor, Kelly Admiral, and then the 12th of Matthew Shirley, the 98 of Dean Qualley, then it's the 16 of Brent Just, the 033 of Ryan Thompson, Rob Naismith in the 71 car, Brendan Forsyth in the number 28 car, and then it's Just and Schneider rounding up your field here. And it looked like Kyle Steckley was inching away from him in those first three laps. And Nagy and McGregor, they looked like they were getting ready to start some battling for the second spot. And unfortunately, McGregor touched Nagy there when the yellow came out. And he was already started that passing maneuver, and the 93 of Nagy was actually slowing down for that yellow flag already. And it looks like they're lining them up double file now, getting ready to go. I can't really tell if the lights on that pace truck are already out. It does look like it. Yes, indeed. They are already out, so bring them back in double file again, boys, and we're going to try this again. Pace truck going in here through turn 3 and 4, and then Steckley can start the race again. There he goes. He gets a little jump off of 4 here. And it looks like Nagy is hanging with him really well and going for that inside. He's not quite close. Oh, and the 24 loses it, washes up. The 93 takes the position away from him. Carlson Nagy in the lead, and it's now Thomas McGregor right there with him in the second spot. And I do believe that Ryan Thompson back there had an issue. We can bring that back real quick. He has an issue with the 71. Let's see what happens here. The 033 has to stop for the slower cars in front of him. The 71 is running in the back of him. So let's bring her back up here live at the front. The 93 of Carlson Nagy being followed by Thomas McGregor. And it looks like McGregor is eager to try something on lap 6 here of 10. And Kelly Admiral is hanging with him now. And Matthew Shirley. Oh, and it's Steckley going against the wall there. And let's see if we can bring that back real quick. Steckley on his roof, wrong side up. And let's see what happened here. He's behind the 16. He gets 2 wheels on that curb there on the inside of the turn, loses it and rolls it over. And that brings out another caution. 6 laps under our belt. And that gives me a chance to catch up and see if I can find Jordan. And see if I can... send him a little text message here right quickly and let him know that I'm back up. And let's take a look at Kyle has gone to the pit, and so has Thompson. And it looks like Thompson's getting serviced for new tires. Let's take a look if Kyle is getting ready to go back out. And I'm not sure about that. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot happening. Of course, that could be the fact that iRacing calculates a tow. When you're laying there upside down, obviously you can't do anything, and then you can hit the escape button and it brings you back to the pit, and then iRacing will calculate a tow towards the pit, and that's maybe why we see no movement here. As the field rolls by, he might still be waiting on the repairs getting started, but then again, he may also call it a night for that heat, and it maybe too much damage, maybe the suspension was bent. Usually the sheet metal damage is not that big of a deal, but damage at the suspensions and the steering system, that's going to hurt a driver quite a bit more, obviously. You'd want that car to go straight when you have the wheel straight, and you want it to turn in when you turn the wheel, and if that's not aligned anymore, then you get in trouble pretty quickly. And it looks like Carson's eager to get going again. It looks to me like the lights on the pace car are out. As far as I can tell, we might be going single file. Yep, looks like it. Carlson Nagy in the front of the pack. It's Travis McGregor right behind him in the DQ car. Then it's Kelly Admiral and Matthew Shirley. Brent just in 5th. There we go. Carson hits the gas, gets a bit of a jump there on the 75. Thomas McGregor brings it back to him pretty quickly. Then it looks like Kelly Admiral is hanging on there as well. 75 comes to the inside of Carson Nagy now. Thomas McGregor into 3 and 4. And they're side by side. It looks like Thomas McGregor picks up the lead here. And it's Nagy in second, still trying to defend on that outside line. Can he get some momentum off the turn here? No. It's the 75 now clear in the lead. Thomas McGregor picks up that first spot. Carson Nagy in second, and it's Admiral in third. It's Matthew Shirley still in fourth. Dean Qualley is in fifth. And we see some driving going on back here. It's Ryan Thompson trying to get past the 71 of Naismith. That's for the final spot here, and it looks like Kyle is back out there, but obviously he is a lap behind on the other guys. Took some repairs, obviously. Thomas McGregor seems to be pulling away from Nagy a little bit, and Nagy has got Kelly Admiral, who tried on the outside but ran a little high. Can't get it done and loses out on the 93 a little bit himself now, and has Matthew Shirley to worry about. And then it's Dean Qualley, a little bit of a gap from Shirley there. Let's bring her back up to the front, because it looks like Carson Nagy has... Oh, that's how fast those heats go. Sometimes you just simply miss that you're already 10 laps in. So I apologize for that. Let's bring out the results for the heat race here for you. That's the order in which they finished. Thomas McGregor in the first spot, Carson Nagy second, Kelly Admiral third, Matthew Shirley is fourth, and Dean Qualley is fifth. Brent Just, Brendan Forsyth, Neil Schneider, Ryan Thompson, Ronald Just, and Naismith and Steckley will have to go to the last chance qualifying. And that's what we're going to be looking at now. And let's see if we can pull up a grid for that last chance qualifier. It looks like we're going to have Colton Evernham on the pole, Brent Just in second, and the cars are already lined up here. Justin McLeod is in third, Brendan Forsyth in fourth, Logan Jewell in fifth. On his outside, it's Neil Schneider. Then on the fourth row, it's Brian Morrison and Ryan Thompson. Fifth row for Jordan Dalsgaard and Ronald Just. And then it's the sixth row for Jody Archer and Rob Naismith. And that's how we're going to run that consolation race here. And that we're going to do that for 25 laps. And it should be the top three that would go through to the feature. There we go, we're rolling. And Colton Evernham and Brent Just up there in the front. Colton weaving that car left and right to get some heat in those front tires. And then the 22 of Justin McLeod there, and the 28 of Forsyth. I hope I pronounce his name correctly. Logan Jewell in fifth, and then Neil Schneider in the 93 car there, the green car in the center of your screen. And obviously Kyle Steckley in this race. He's going to have to make up quite a bit here. And the 17 of Jordan Dalsgaard, the red car there. All right, there. That pace truck should be going in here at the end of the backstretch. 48 of Colton Evernham is ready to go, it looks like. Bring them down through 3 and 4 here. Nicely lined up.
Green, green, green.
And Colton seems to wait until they call it out, actually. Side by side into turn 2 here, just on the outside. And Evernham on the inside. It looks like Colton Evernham now picks up the lead, and we have a caution. Let's see what we have going on here. That's the 033 of Thompson standing in the wrong way. And it looks like it's the 33 tapping him on that quarter panel there. The 33, that was Ronald Just. And the 033 of Ryan Thompson back in the right direction and rolling once again. So Ryan has to start from the back now. Kyle Steckley is right there with him. And then in the white car, in the 27, that's Patrick Shermans. The 71 here of Rob Naismith going up into the field here. Jody Archer in the 7 car with the John Deere logo on the hood. Ronald Just in the 33 car. Then it's Jordan Dalsgaard in the 17. Brian Morrison. Neil Schneider in the 93 here. Right behind the 92, you can't make this up. Logan Jewell here. And then it's Forsyth, McLeod, Brent Just, and Colton Evernham still in the lead. Lap 4 of the consolation race.
Mark, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I'm glad you're back. I'm sorry about that. That was my bad.
No, I don't even know what. I just wanted to give the explanation to the fans here. So because the field shrunk down, it's actually advancing 8 drivers out of this race. So it's not going to be the 1 and it's not going to be the 3. It's going to be the 8 just because we had to shrink the heat races.
Okay. That's good to know. So the the first 8 positions will bring them up to the feature. That's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So just want to let you know, and I'll maybe pop down again.
All right. Thank you very much, Jordan. So the first 8 positions will be moving on to the feature. That has to do with the number of entries and the way they were distributed over the features, and that makes the life a little bit easier for somebody like Kyle Steckley and Ryan Thompson, who are still in the back there. And it looks like the laps under yellow are counted in the consolation race here. So hopefully we're going to get a green light in here pretty quickly and keep them green until the end. And that'll give some drivers an opportunity to catch back up. The lights on the pace car should be going out as we cross the line here. Yes, indeed, they are. So the pace car is going to pull into the pits on the backstretch, and then we'll be back racing once again. We're on lap 6 of 25. It's Colton Evernham in front, and next to him will be Brent Just in the 16 car. Then it's going to be the 22 of McLeod and the 28 of Forsyth right there with him. Quick look back there. You see the second but last car. That is the number 12 of Steckley. There we go. Colton is early on the gas, and he really surprises the rest of the field and pulls a couple of car lengths. Oh, that didn't last very long. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. We see Ronald Just here, the 17 of Jordan Dalsgaard, and the 6 of Brian Morrison. Let's bring back what happens. Oh, the problem is actually midfield, and then it's a bunch of cars that really can't get by. Let's bring that back up again. It's basically in the back of the pack, in the middle of the pack, where the 93 is, where things go wrong. And let me refine. That's the 93 of Neil Schneider. I'm going to do this again for you. It's the 93 of Neil Schneider. He gets loose off the turn, collects the 6, then collects the 7, and then pretty much collects everybody that's behind him. And that's very unfortunate. And it looks like his car's pretty beat up on that front end there. So let's go back and bring her up live. And we should find the leaders here. That is Ronald Just in the 33, shown as the leader at this point. And I'm not sure if that's correct. What happened to Colton Evernham? It could be that those guys are almost a lap down, and that the pace car picked up the field right in front of them, so they should be getting away with it. It looks like the consolation laps, the yellow laps, are not being counted now. The computer is a little bit off here. I apologize for that. Scoring with the heat with yellows not counted, it can be a little bit tricky. It does look like those other drivers have been waved around the pace truck, and Colton Evernham is still in the lead, just like we thought he was. Brent Just is in second, and Forsyth in third. McLeod dropped to fourth. So it looks like Brennan has picked up a position there in the Exalta car. And it looked indeed that the computer was a little bit off there about whether the laps were counted or not. Do we have anybody in the pit lane? I do not believe so. I think everybody stayed out. 17 of Dalsgaard there. And then it's the 33 of Ronald Just. He's got some damage on the right front, and it looks like Steckley has a bit of damage on the left front. He didn't get past there cleanly either. And then it's the 7 And I'm trying to find... I'm trying to find the 093. Ryan Thompson. No, that's the 33. Can't find him. There he is, Neil Schneider. And it looks for a double file now once again. It's Colton Evernham on the outside now, and it's the 16 of Brent just on the inside. And there we go. And ooh, that's a strong move on the outside for the 48 there. Picking up that lead from the outside line. It's Brent just in second. It's Brennan Forsile in fourth. It looks like Logan Jewell is being challenged here by the 22 of Justin McLeod. He washes up a little high. It's Kyle Steckley already up to sixth position there, challenging Justin McLeod into 22. And it looks like Steckley takes that position away from him, and that brings him into the feature for sure. Colton Evernham still in front. Brent just in second. If you see the car blinking, that means that there's a little bit of a connection issue to the server for that driver. It's Brendan Forsile still in fourth. Logan Jewell in the 92 is in he's in fourth position actually. Whoops. We have another caution. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on. It's the 33 and the 17. Let's bring that back again. It looks like the 17 is running into the left rear of the 33, trying to make a pass. And then the 93, once again, a victim here. And it looks like guys are still rolling, so let's pick up Colton Evernham here. He is in the lead still. And let's see if we can find out if the guys are still rolling back there. It looks like Jordan Dalskar went to the pits, and he's taken a fast repair, so if I see that correctly. You saw that bodywork of that car being repaired really quickly, and that means that there's a fast repair. They have one fast repair for the feature as well, which basically means that the damage that the car has is instantly repaired when they get into the pits, and the reason that he's still in the pits is because he's also taken tires. So one fast repair for the guys, and if you get more damage after that first fast repair, you're on your own, and you're going to have to wait for repairs if they're possible at all. So Jordan Dalsgaard has been in the pits, and it looks like Schneider and Thompson, they were also in the pits, but that was for that earlier occasion. So let's bring her back up front here. And it's Colton Evernham still leading, and Brent just is behind him. Forsyth, Jewell, Steckley, McLeod, Archer, Naismith, Shermans, Morrison, Thompson, Schneider, and Ronald Just and Dalsgaard in the back there. So Kyle Steckley in the 24 here. He's in a good position at this point. That brings him to the feature. That's what he wants. And the first man that's going to be out of luck here is the 9th position of Patrick Schersman. He's close, so he's going to have to make something work. And it looks like Brian Morrison, Ryan Thompson, equally so. They're close, but so far, no cigar. Colton Evernham trying to keep some heat in those tires. It looks like the pace car lights are still on, so we're doing another yellow lap here. This is a fun track, I think, with a fairly long straight and fairly tight turns. It's only a half a mile, but I would say for the drivers it feels a little bit more like a longer track because of the longer straights. As I said, they're running about 120 miles an hour on the straight top speed, and then they slow down for the turns, and they're probably somewhere between 65 and 70 miles an hour, depending on the driver and the line they have, and whether they do it right, obviously. So, and it looks like Colton is opting to stay on the high side when we get going again. I find that interesting. You would think on tight turns like this that you would be better off on the lower side, but Colton seems to think otherwise. He gets a jump on him, though. He starts very early. He gets to do that. It's Brent just in second, hanging on with Logan Jewell right there with him on the higher side. And behind those guys, it's Justin McLeod and it's Kyle Steckley moving up to fifth position already. He is passing Brennan Forsythe. Brennan Forsythe is going to have to be careful not to fall victim. And we have another incident here. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. The 93 was involved. I think the 24. I'm sorry, the... let me see... the 27 was involved. Let's bring that back here and see what happens. They're coming on. Oh, and the 27 just touches the 033 in the back there. And he does look like he gets by, but he creates a bit of a mess behind there. See that once again? Yep. Into the rear end of the 033. The 93 goes into the wall. And that was all she wrote. And it looks to me like the 093 is not having a good night so far. And let's bring her back up live. Colton Evernham is still in front. Once again, interesting way of restarting the race. He was early on the gas on mid-turn. He can do that. It's his decision. And let's see further back here how Kyle Steckley has dropped the 6. Lost that position to Brennan Forsythe. And it looks like Rob Naismith is in 7th. Jody Archer is now the man on the bubble, so to say. He is still in the feature, but he's got to be careful. Brian Morrison is going to be behind him, and he'll be ready to take advantage of any mistake that he makes. Neil Schneider behind him, Ronald just behind that there, and then Jordan Dalsgaard, Patrick Shermans close out the running order here. So Jody Archer is the man on a mission here, and Brian Morrison is on an even bigger mission because he wants that spot from Archer. And let's bring her back up here. Still under yellow behind the pace truck. Coming down the main straightaway. And the lights are not going out just yet. So we'll be doing another one. And it looks like Thompson... Yep, Thompson is out. Sherman's now in the final spot here, 13th position. Dalsgaard in front of him, Ronald Just. And once again, Brian Morrison, he's got his eyes on the prize. Colton Evernham in the lead here. Lights are going out now. Let's see what Colton does. Is he staying high or is he going low? It looks like he opts to stay low now. He played that trick twice before. He's probably thinking maybe it's not going to work a third time. I thought that was interesting. An interesting choice for him to make. Nicely lined up here. There he goes once again, very, very early on the gas, and the 92 gets caught out. The 92 gets caught out by that. It's Logan Jewell who gets on the gas mid-turn too quickly, and it looks like he spins it around. Let's take another look at that. This is the restart, and way before, still in turn 3, it's Colton getting on the gas. The 92 gets caught by surprise, hits the gas too hard, and turns it around. Still rolling, but now he is in a spot where he really didn't want to be. He was safe and sound in the feature, and now he's running into 13th spot. And pace car catching up with the field. And depending on where the yellow first comes out, that's how it works sometimes. Sometimes the drivers have to wait for the pace car to get in front of them. And I think that's what's happening right now. So they'll have to slow up and wait for that truck to get in front of the field. And up top on the left top of your screen, you can see that we're only on lap 6 in this heat race here. There is a time limit for the heat race. That's 30 minutes, and we're over halfway of that time limit. So if we can't get this going under green, we're going to be stopping a little bit earlier. We're going to be running out of time. So there you have it. The truck is now back in front. It looks like Brent Just is going to get waved around. He's in the back of the pack, actually, and it's Colton Evernham and actually Brent Justice being shown as the leader. And I'm not sure if that's correct, though. We'll have to wait and see what they do on the restart. It might be that we missed that he picked up that lead before the yellow came out. That would highly surprise me because the yellow came out fairly quickly. And an unfortunate turn of events for Logan Jewell here in the 92. He was running solidly, fighting there with the leaders, and he got taken by surprise there a little bit, and a bit of a panic reaction maybe, and it caused him to turn that back end around, and that means that he is looking at a mountain to climb, really, to catch back up to that 8th spot. And right in front of the 17 there, you see the 6 of Brian Morrison, and it's pretty bent up. So back up front here, it's Brent Just, in fact, in the lead. He's on the inside, and that means that he must have taken Colton by surprise right in that half a lap of green flag racing, and it's going to be up to him now. There he goes.
Green, green, green.
The 48 tugs right there with him. Oh, on the outside even. Colton Evernham throws it alongside on the outside line there. And it looks like Colton Evernham actually picks up the lead with an outside pass. And Kyle Steckley is pulling the same move on that 16. Brings it to the high side. Got more momentum on the high side coming off the turn. Kyle Steckley picks up 2nd position here. And he's now running behind Evernham. Brent Just is now in 3rd, and he's got Justin McLeod to worry about as well. Justin McLeod seems to be a little bit clear of the 7 of Jody Archer. Let's see if we can find out what's going on back here. Looks like the 6 of Brian Morrison is in trouble here. That's not his fault at all. Let's bring that back a little bit further. The 17 and the 093 are fighting for position there. Schneider and Dalsgaard. Dalsgaard hits the 93 and pushes the 93 into the 6. That is so unfortunate for Brian here. Power slides it to get the nose heading in the right direction, but that is really unfortunate. Evernham now back in the lead. It's Steckley now in 2nd. And it looks like Just is in 3rd. Hanging on there because he was also looking at McLeod in his mirrors. And Archer was closing in as well. He's moved himself up quite a bit. He's gained 6 positions already. And Steckley is the biggest one. He's stepped up 12 positions since the start of this race. So that's I'll take my hat off for that. That's pretty good stuff. And then Naismith is in 7th behind Forsyth, Schneider, Jewell, Shermans, and then it's Ronald Just in the 33. Brian Morrison shown in 12th. Dalsgaard is behind him. And let's see if we can find Dalsgaard there. Yep, Dalsgaard behind him. Ronald Just here in the 33, a fair amount of damage on the right front, and the 6 is not looking all that pretty anymore either. Sherman's now in 10th. And it looks like he's got some damage on both front sides as well. Logan Jewell in a 92 is getting closer to where he wants to be, right behind the 93 of Neil Schneider. See if we can pick up the pace truck. The lights are still on. Coming down the backstretch. And once again, weaving left and right, trying to keep some heat in those front tires. And see if we can get this finished under green. We're still only on lap 8 of this consolation race here. So if you look at the clock ticking away there, we may not make it to the full 25 laps. Too many cautions for that. We're 8 minutes from the time limit, and we're not even halfway into the race. It looks like Colton is eager to go. Pace truck is in. Let's see what he pulls off this time. There he goes, a little bit further into the turn, and now he loses it himself coming off of that turn, fourth turn there. Oh, and we have another one. Let's bring her back here and see what's going on. That looks like that's the 33. No, the 93 was in there, I believe. Let's see if we can bring it back. It's the 24, the 27 that's involved. That's Sherman. So I'll bring you back here a little bit. And it was the 93. The 93 hits the 33. We're going to bring that back. That's on the restart. The 93 loses it coming off the turn, collects the 71. He collects the 33, and then the 27 and Dalsgaard in the 17 also collected in that spin. Let's see if Schneider can keep going. It looks like it. Sherman's is, I don't see him anymore. No, he's out. So Schneider keeps going. Dalsgaard, let's see him. He's still running. So Schneider, Jordan Dalsgaard, Brian Morrison, they're still running. The 92 is still running. And he's still in the 8th position right there behind the 71. Yeah, back there, that second half of the field, it looks like there's a good work for the body shop here. Martensville proves to be a bigger challenge for the guys than we anticipated. And the clock is ticking away at 25 minutes already in this consolation race. We're only on lap 9, so I can guarantee you that we're not going to bring it home to 25 laps. And that means that's good news for the guys in front. They're pretty much there. And we'll probably get a couple more green laps before it's over. Colton Evernham now shown in second. And he kind of hurt himself there a little bit with that idea of hitting the gas early in the turn, in the beginning of turn 4. And he got it a little sideways. He saved it, but he did lose some time there. So, yeah, it's pulling a stunt like that's one thing, but you got to be careful not to hurt yourself. And it looks like Steckley's got a bit of a weak connection. He's blinking in and out every once in a while. I hope it's not going to hurt anybody's race, because for the guy behind a car that's blinking, that is extremely unsettling. You can't place your car if you can't see the guy in front of you if you want to do anything to pass him. So hopefully we'll get that sorted out. And it looks like we're going back to racing. The lights on the pace car are out, and It looks to me like we're going single file. Steckley getting ready to go. There he goes. He hits the gas. And oh, Colton does the same thing once again. He gets that little wiggle coming off of that turn. Steckley now well in front here, and coming back onto the main straight. He's quite a bit ahead there. Colton Evernham in second, having to defend from Justin McLeod in the 22 car. Brent Just is hanging on in fourth. And it looks like Forsyth is there in fifth still. Jody Archer in sixth. Naismith is hanging on to seventh. Logel is now in the eighth position, so that means he's in. Colton Evernham here, let's take a look at him. Steckley just ran the quickest lap of a 19.64. Justin McLeod running a little bit wide in his pursuit of Evernham. Can Brent Just take advantage of that? No, he's not close enough. Brennan Forsyth in the fifth position. Jody Archer behind him in seventh. Seconds ticking away now. Rob Naismith hanging on to that seventh spot. It's Logan Jewell in the eighth, and he looks fairly safe. Brian Morrison is a couple of car lengths behind him for that final spot in the feature. Steckley well out in front still. Let's bring her back here to Justin McLeod. He's chasing down Colton Evernham, and he's being chased by Brent Just. Fairly close together here. And it looks like Jewell hanging on to that 8th spot. He's fairly safe. It's Dalsgaard now in the 9th spot. He's overtaken Brian Morrison. So Jordan Dalsgaard is hoping to catch up with a 92 here and make something work for him. And up front we have Justin McLeod, and it looks like Colton Evernham must have had another one of those moments. Let's see if we can bring that back. Yes, sir. He runs wide and he scrapes the wall. Bring her back here. You saw McLeod and Just passing him, and they're going at it together now for second position. Brent Just picks that back up. The 22 of Justin McLeod hanging with him. The 48 not giving up, trying to stick it underneath the 22. Can he do it? Yes, he's right alongside him, but the 22 gets off the turn a little bit better. Brent Just hanging on to the second spot now. Justin McLeod defending from Colton Evernham. And back there in 7th and 8th, it's still Naismith and Jordan and Jewell, and it looks like Jordan Dalsgaard has picked up that 8th position from Jewell. So now he's in, and Logan Jewell looking not so good at this point. Brent Just still in second. Kyle Steckley is well out in front now. He's 3.5 seconds away from these guys. That's an eternity on a track like this. Brent Just still hanging on to that second spot, and it looks like McLeod and Evernham are going at it. Let's take a look there. Yeah, I think he tapped him in the back. Yes, he did. It unsettles the 22. He gets on the curb a little bit, and then it's Colton Evernham going to the inside, picking up that third spot. Go back live here, see how they're doing. Situation unchanged here. Evernham, so he's now in third. It's Brandon Forsyth still in fifth. Archer is in sixth. Naismith, oh, and it looks like Archer. They got the checkered flag. The time ran out. We're 20 laps in here. I was trying to keep an eye on the clock, but there's so much going on. Let's see if we can bring up the results for you here for the consolation race. And there we go. It's Kyle Steckley, 3.7 seconds ahead of Brent Just, and that's quite a bit. And in the background you can see the guys going out for a short warm-up, and probably about 5 minutes or so. Let's go back to these results here. Steckley wins the consolation race. Had to start from back in the pack, so good job for him. Brent Just in second. He's in. Colton Evernham in third with a pass on Justin McLeod late in the race here. Brendan Forsyth in fifth. Jody Archer in sixth. Rob Naismith in seventh. And it looks like Logan Jewell actually got that 8th position back from Jordan Dalsgaard. So he's back in. And unfortunately, Dalsgaard, Morrison, Schneider, Just, and Shermans, Thompson, they are not in the feature race. So you're looking at a 5-minute warm-up here, and that gives me a chance to get a drink real quick. So obviously in a simulation like this, warming up car and tires and all that stuff is really not the biggest issue, but some of the guys have been sitting still for half an hour, so the warm-up gives everybody a chance to get back behind their wheel and get back into the groove of things and get into the right mindset for the feature race. And so that's the biggest issue, obviously, because whatever heat you bring in the tires in this warm-up is going to be zero affecting the heat of the tires once they grid them back up. So let's see if we can already bring up the grid for the feature race. No, not yet. We'll have to wait till this session is over. 2.5 minutes in already, so the warm-up is already halfway done. And they're giving themselves a good practice. Oh, there's the 90 losing it, and somebody runs into the back of him there. That's Kyle Steckley. Gives him a little push. Both of them are not getting off of that real well. Steckley going back out. Carson-Nagy scraping against the wall here. That doesn't look like a very good idea. Matthew Shirley standing still. Logan Jewell, I'm sure he's happy to be in. And let's take a look here quickly at Kevin Dick in the number 10 car. Running the 5th time in this warm-up at this point, 19.46. Always one of the guys we expect to see way up front. There we have Stackley joining the pack. Let's bring up that information here for you once again. The ambient temperature looks like it's still right around that 76 Fahrenheit mark. And the wind has not picked up. The trek temperature is increased a little bit to 80 degrees. And so that is, it's not hurting them that much. It's not enough to make a huge difference, I don't think. So once again, 5th round in the series. We're going to be looking at a 100-lap feature. And let's see if the guys can be a little bit more disciplined than they were before. Ray Murnau, it looks like he's quickest in the warm-up session here.
How's it going up there, Mark?
I think it's going all right, Jordan. How are you doing?
Well, it wasn't the most beautiful racing I've ever seen, but hopefully the feature will be different.
yeah.
It was a little over-aggressive, I think, and I think it's also a little bit of a product of these guys being relatively new to, short track racing on iRacing.
Yeah.
As much as it does translate from real life, there's still, you don't have that feeling in your butt as you're driving, that kind of stuff. So I respect that and I get that, and hopefully we don't have to dish out too many strikes or penalties.
All right. Well, we're getting ready for that feature now. And it looks like we're going to be lining them up here any minute. Let's take a quick look at the grid here. We have Kelly Admiral on the pole position, and on his outside it'll be Kevin Dick. On the 2nd row inside Carson-Nagy, outside Ray Murnau. Then on the 3rd row it's Thomas McGregor, outside Jeremy Brooks. Inside of the 4th row is Tom Quering, and on his outside it'll be Matthew Shirley. And then it's the 5th row with David Rockwood and Dean Qualley. 6th row, Kyle Steckley and Brent Just. that brings us to the 7th row, Colton Evernham and Justin McLeod. Then it's Brennan Forsyth and Jody Archer on the 8th row. And the final row is for Rob Naismith and Logan Jewell. Cars are rolling, pace lap has begun. And let's see if we can do a little bit better as far as discipline is concerned for the race. Once again brought to you by the sponsorship of Travis Queering. We appreciate his support for this race. Kelly Admiral there in the purple car, the number 8 with Kevin Dick alongside him. Carson Nagy and Ray Murnau right there with him. Thomas McGregor, strong heat race. Jeremy Brooks, Tom Queering in the race sponsor's car. And let's see what we got going on here. The pace car is in, and it's up to Kelly. They're looking fairly disciplined here coming off of turn 4.
Green flag.
They wait for the call, and there we go. It looks like Kelly's got a good jump here on Kevin Dick, and it looks like Carson Nagy's on that lower side getting underneath Kevin right now. Murnau is getting right there with him. It looks like Murnau catches up with the 93 pretty quickly. And Kevin Dick still on the outside. The 93 still hanging on to that second spot. Behind them, it's Jeremy Brooks and Thomas McGregor in the 75 and the 53 for the 5th and 6th position. It looks like Nagy is hanging on to that second spot. Ray Murnau in 3rd. Kevin Dick is hanging on to 4th. And then it's the 53 and the 75 battling for that 5th spot. It's Thomas McGregor currently holding on to it. Jeremy Brooks in the 6th spot. Tom Queering hanging on to 7th. And it's Kyle Steckley already halfway through the field, it looks like. He's picked up 3 spots, and it looks like the 46, and I'm sorry, the 46 of Queering and Steckley are getting together here. Let's see if we can bring this back. Let's see what happens to the 46 in front of Steckley here. It looks like the 46 loses it, overcorrects, hits the wall, and collects Steckley in the process. That's unfortunate. And let's see how Steckley comes off of that. Those connection issues are not quite over either. And it looks like he's back in the at the end of the line once again. He's got some issues on that left front. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in and gets that quick repair. Make sure he can keep rolling and roll strong once again. So let's keep an eye on that, and let's see where the where the other car is. Tom Queering, he is staying out, but it doesn't look good for him. That car is bent up. He's running pretty crooked. See if we can, oh yeah, that's a done deal. Well, he's got his quick repair, so he better take that if he can bring it in there. I'm surprised he stayed out and didn't come in the first time he passed by there. Maybe the pits were closed. But yeah, he's going to need some help with that one. Steckley, it doesn't look like Steckley took a fast repair because that damage is still showing on that car. Maybe he's trying to save that fast repair and expect more stuff to happen. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if it did. Catching up to the back of the pack. Tom Queering did take that fast repair. His car is looking in fairly good shape now. And he's rejoining the race as well. So the pace car is turning off the lights. It's Kelly Admiral on the inside. He is still the leader in this race. The 93 of Carson Nagy alongside him. Ray Murnau and Kevin Dick right behind there. And then it's Thomas McGregor and Jeremy Brooks. We saw them duking it out for 5th and 6th already. So let's see what we're going to do here when we pick up the pace once again. Kelly is not going just yet. They want to. There they come off the turn, and Kelly hits the gas. Once again, Kelly Admiral gets a bit of a jump on the 93. Brings it into turn 1 and 2, and he runs a little bit wide, and it looks like Carson Nagy takes advantage of that right away, bringing it underneath the 8. And the 8 has a little bit more momentum on that high side. The 93 almost looked like he touched him. The 8 runs into the wall. It's Carson Nagy picking up that lead. It's Ray Murnau getting a tap in the back there from McGregor. He saves it, though. Pretty good stuff there. And McGregor hangs on. And let's see where we have the incident going on. Oh, the 53. The 53. Jeremy Brooks was in trouble there. Let's bring her back. And there you see the 53 tapping the 75 into the 03. That's what we saw. And then after that, the 53 just can't get it collected back together and creates a bit of a moving chicane for everybody else. And then they're too eager to get going too. And ooh, that car looks like it's crooked as well. It's hard to tell. So Carson Nagy picks up the lead right in front of the number 8 car, Kelly Admiral. It looked like Admiral was a little bit too much off the lower groove, and it allowed Carson Nagy to get underneath him, and that was pretty much it. And then Kelly also scraped the wall coming off of that turn. And what we saw happening to Murnau, that was actually what started the incident behind him, and Murnau caught that pretty good, I will say that. And it looked like Thomas McGregor also got off of that pretty unscathed. Kevin Dick now in the 5th position already, or I should say in the 5th position. He dropped a couple of spots, and it looks like Evernham picked up 7 positions already. That's pretty cool. And Logan Jewell has made his way up to 13th already in the back of the field here. So the ones coming off worst right now after 12 laps of 100 is Tom Queering and Brandon Forsyth, Jeremy Brooks, and Brent Just, and Rob Naismith. And let's bring her back up here. Nagy in the lead. Lights on the pace truck are going out, so they're going to be lining them up again. And Nagy opts for the inside. It might be a little bit early in the race to pull all kinds of alternative stunts here. McGregor now in 4th. He picked up that position from Kevin. And it puts Kevin on the inside line. Maybe he wants to be there. And 03 taps the 93 there. There we go. Now Carson Nagy is quick on the gas once again. And he brings Ray Murnau right there with him. It looked like Kelly Admiral did not anticipate that. And McGregor is on his inside already, picking up 3rd position here. Kelly Admiral caught out there a little bit on the higher side. Kevin Dick on the inside of the 48 of Evernham. Evernham is running strong tonight, I'll tell you that. The 12 of Shirley is right there with him. So it's Carson Nagy up here in the front. Couple of car lengths on Ray Murnau. Thomas McGregor in the 3rd spot. Kelly Admiral drops to 4th on that restart, getting caught out just a little bit. And it's Kevin Dick making a move on him now. Nope, not close enough. He has to settle for 5th right here, but Kelly runs a little bit wider, and Kevin gets to try again on the backstretch coming up to turn 3. Can he keep it down low in there? Yes, he can. And now it's a matter of, can he pull it in front of him? No, he cannot. Kelly comes off of that turn very well. No changes up front here. Kevin Nagy still in the lead. Ray Murnau in 2nd, and now Murnau scrapes the wall a little bit, and the 75 tries to get underneath him. Not quite there, but he's got that nose in there. Murnau on the high side, McGregor on the low side. Looks like Murnau's got good momentum there. comes off the turn pretty good, keeps it in front of McGregor. Right behind him, it's Kelly Admiral and Kevin Dick fighting for that 4th and 5th spot. It looks like Kevin comes off the turn very well there. Can he get in deep enough? No, he can't. Colton Evernham loses a little bit of ground on Kevin Dick, and he's got Kyle Steckley right behind him. Kyle Steckley did not get that car fixed all the way. You can see he's still pretty beat up, and he's probably saving it a little bit for a later moment, because I'm sure we're going to see some more yellows. Currently running lap 20 here. It's Nagy still in front, pulling 3-4 car lengths on Ray Murnau. Murnau's got McGregor to worry about in the 3rd spot there. Kelly Admiral, a couple of car lengths behind McGregor. He's got Kevin Dick behind him. Seems to be a little bit better in control now there in the number 8 car. Colton Evernham, he's got Kyle Steckley right on that bumper. And Kyle also picks up that curb on the inside a little bit there, but he seems to be holding on pretty good. And then behind him, it's Matthew Shirley pretty much on his own, and David Rockwood, Dean Qualley fighting with Justin McLeod. Bring her back up front here. Ray Murnau seems to be closing in on Carson Nagy right now. He's closed that gap down to maybe a half a car length, so let's see what develops here for the lead. And it looks like the 03 comes in that turn very good. Oh, he's hanging with the leader very, very good, very strong. And it's the 93 having to make sure that he keeps that car on the bottom, because the 03 will stick that underneath there as soon as he gets a chance. Nagy hanging on, but only just. And then Thomas McGregor is going to start interfering in this stuff as well. Right there behind Ray Murnau, a little bit more distance to Kelly Admiral, and he's got Kevin Dick still behind him. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle from Nagy there coming off the turn. Back into turn 1 and 2 here. The 03 hanging on there. The 75 staying with them as well. Can Murnau make anything happen? He's not close enough, but it looks like he's pretty strong on that low side. Oh, they're getting so awfully close to that wall. It's amazing. I'm surprised we don't see more sparks. And let's see what happens there. That looks like the 90 got in trouble. That's David Rockwood. Back her up here. The 53 gets on that left rear quarter panel of the 90, turns him around, and he collects a query. He gets it turned back around again. Oops, he's got to do a double donut there to get it headed in the right direction. Leader's already catching up to him. And it looks like David Rockwood can catch up to the back of the pack. And Ray Murnau decided to go into the pit for some fresh rubber. And David Rockwood coming in the pits, that's pretty obvious. He's probably going to take that fast repair and get a clean car. And Steckley's still out there, and Steckley didn't take repairs. Murnau is it's a long pit road. Murnau is now in his pit. He gets tires, and he'll be pretty much in the back of the pack. And it looks like Nagy he was trying to fool the other guys, trying to make him think that he was going to pit, and Kelly almost fell for it. But at the last point, he decided not to. Murnau coming back out. He'll be back in the 15th spot. And let's take a check here on Rockwood. And as far as I can tell from this angle, that looks like a fast repaired car here. So David Rockwood still in the race, and he might be in the last spot, but he's still on the lead lap, obviously, and he gets to try once more. Let's bring her back up front here. Carson Nagy still in front. It's now Thomas McGregor picking up that second spot because of Murnau being in the pits. And everybody moves up a spot. Kelly Admiral in third, Kevin Dick in fourth, Evernham in fifth, Kyle Steckley in sixth. And I guess Kyle Steckley opted not for that longer pit stop, maybe. No, I don't know. I don't know. It kind of surprises me he didn't take a faster pair, but maybe he's saving it for a later moment. We're only on lap 30, so we still got quite a ways to go. And yellows breed yellows, like they always say. And Tom Queering still hanging on. It looks like that car is not really all that in bad shape. It's not too bad, I don't think. And then the 22 of Justin McLeod, he looks all right. Jody Archer, he seems to be in fairly good shape. A little bit of damage on that left front. The lights on the pace car are out. Carson Nagy is taking the inside line. It's Thomas McGregor alongside him now. It's Kelly Admiral right behind him. So they know how Nagy plays this game. So don't get caught out, guys. You can't be early enough. Pace truck going in. Turn 3 and 4. Lined up nicely there. And there he goes. Carson has a good feel for timing that pretty good. And he picks up the lead going into turn 1. It's Thomas McGregor in second. It's Kevin Dick now on the high side of Admiral picking up the third position. Can he hold on to it? Kelly Admiral's on the low side. Kevin Dick on the high side. He looks pretty strong there. And it's Kyle Steckley right behind him in the 24. Admiral's hanging on to that spot, but Kevin Dick is looking strong. Let's take a look here up at the front. McGregor is closing in on the 93, but we don't get a chance to make anything happen there. Let's take a look at what happens. It's the 16, it looks like. Yep, it's the 16 that gets a little tap from the 28. That's Brent Just. And Brennan Forsythe is the man that did that to him. So he gets it back in the right direction, and they're continuing on. But unfortunately for him, drops back to the 16 spot now. Brennan Forsythe in the 15 spot. Looks like Logan Jewell is bringing that 92 to the pits. I don't really believe he was involved. That may be damage from a prior incident, or maybe just scraping the wall, not sure. We can try and see if we can bring any back. If anything, no, I don't think that was in this incident. So the 92 in the pits, and we also see Brent Just coming in the pits. He wants that faster pair as well, if he has it. Yes, he does. Let's take a look at Jewell. He's got that faster pair. So those faster pairs are going fast. And there's not going to be much for them for the next time they run into trouble. So they're going to have to be careful now. Just already on his way out. Logan Jewell on his way out. They're going to be picking up the pace here and get to the back of the pack. Matthew Shirley is out of the race, and so is Rob Naismith. Let's bring her back up front here. Carson Nagy behind the pace truck, hanging on to that lead here. It looked like Thomas McGregor was coming on strong to him, but then the yellow came out and they had to abort their mission. So Nagy, and then it's Thomas McGregor. Kelly Admiral hanging on to that third spot, being under pressure from Kevin Dick. Kyle Steckley in the 24, Evernham in the 48. Then it's Brooks, Queering, Archer, McLeod, Dean Qualley, Ray Murnau already back up to 12th spot. And then it's Rockwood, Forsythe, Just, and Jewell. And the lights are going out. They're going to line him up once again. And unlike what we saw in his heat race, Nagy is now opting for that inside line. And I just find it odd when they do that, especially when with tight turns like here in Martensville. But I guess he's got his reasons. He made it work. I will give you that. He made it work. There he goes. He gets a good jump on the 75 here. He stays in the lead into turn 1. Ooh, and Kevin Dick on the outside there of Kelly Admiral. And Steckley now moves to the inside of Kevin Dick. Got caught out there a little bit, and it looks like Steckley dives it in there. The 48 is hanging with him, and let's bring her up to the front here, because I think Thomas McGregor is getting ready to make a move. Steckley still on the inside of Kevin. The 8 now running strong to the outside of McGregor, trying to pick up that second spot. Oh, he's got a good run there. Side by side through the turns. And they're definitely running strong behind that 93 car. Steckley and Kevin Dick still side by side. The 75 and the 8 side by side. Kelly picks up that position. He dives in a little bit better. And then it looks like the 75 comes off the turn a little bit better than him. No, it's Kelly Admiral crosses the line in the second spot, but they're still side by side, and this is not over just yet. And Steckley and Kevin Dick, same thing. Now it looks like Kelly scrapes that wall a little bit. He's hanging on to that outside line, and it allows Carson Nagy to pull away from him a little bit. Ooh, and it's Ray Murnau going sideways. Look at that. What a save. Let's see if I can bring that back for you. I hope you saw that in the back here. Look at that. Look at that. He's holding on to that car. Amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Oh, boy. No such problems here up front. Carson Nagy pulls about half a second. And why is my computer doing weird? Carson Nagy is in the lead still. Thomas McGregor in second. Kelly Admiral lines up single file behind him now. Kyle Steckley has put it ahead of Kevin Dick, and they're also now running single file. Colton Evernham and Jeremy Brooks, they're catching up with these guys. The 46 of Tom Queering in 8th position, hanging on strongly here. Ray Murnau, after that beautiful save, is already caught back up to Queering. And then there's a little bit of a gap to Jody Archer. Let's bring her back up front here. That's where the action is. It's Thomas McGregor putting pressure on Carson Nagy. And it looks like they're pulling away from Kelly just a tad. Kyle Steckley and Kevin Dick going back at it again. Dick was trying hard to get underneath there, but he couldn't make it work. Steckley still in the 4th position, and it looks like they're losing a little bit of ground on Admiral. Let's bring her back up here, because Thomas McGregor is putting pressure on Carson Nagy more and more. And that probably will give Kelly a chance to catch back up with him, because every time you're fighting somebody, you're slowing the both of you down. So that would help Kelly if those guys battle hard. McGregor not quite close enough now. Nagy scraping that wall, throwing off some sparks. Steckley still in front of Kevin Dick. Ray Murnau has passed Jeremy Brooks for 6th position back here. And it looks like Jody Archer has lost a little bit of ground on Kevin Brooks. And it looks like Jeremy Brooks is having a hard time staying with Ray Murnau. And Murnau is catching up to Kevin Dick. So this fight for the lead here is definitely heating up. It's Thomas McGregor right behind Carson Nagy. Kelly Admiral, couple of car lengths in between there. Kyle Steckley, couple of car lengths in between him and Admiral. He's got Kevin Dick right on his tail. Ray Murnau catching up in the 6th spot here. And McGregor, and now the back markers are going to be a factor. This is going to get interesting here. Look at that. You see, that is Dean Qualley in front of him there. And it looks like Thomas McGregor is trying to pull it on the inside there. And he can't quite get it alongside just yet. Tugs in behind him again. Dean Qualley is going to get leapt by these leaders here. And that might be a factor in this battle. Kelly seems to be catching up a little bit there. I will say that Dean Qualley's got some good pace. He's moving to the high side now. That's good sportsmanship. He doesn't want to interfere in the battle for the lead, but obviously he doesn't want to stand still either. Kelly Admiral going low there now, and Kyle Steckley, Kevin Dick following suit. The 03 of Ray Murnau is not past Dean just yet. Now he goes to the inside. And then it's Jeremy Brooks coming alongside the 98. Carson Nagy hanging on to that lead. Thomas McGregor hanging on to that rear bumper. Kelly Admiral in third position. He's got Kyle Steckley still behind him. It looks like Steckley and Dick have closed in on him a little bit. Ray Murnau is right there with him in the 03 car. The 24 closing in on the 8. Ooh, and it looks like McGregor has a bit of a wiggle coming off that turn. Let's take a ride here with the second place car. That's what it looks like from his perspective here. And down to about 65, 70 miles an hour. He keeps it nice and low. They're catching up on the 90 now. You're looking at the tail of the leader there. He's doing an awesome job. You can see he's working that car really hard. Those hands are moving quite a bit. It's not easy for them, but he looks like he's not fighting the car though. Good shot. It looks like they're putting a little bit more distance on on Kelly Admiral, and it looks like Kevin Dick is getting past Kyle Steckley. Ooh, they touched there, Ray Murnau and Steckley, and they're both hanging on to it. And it looks like Ray Murnau also passes Steckley. He picks up 5th position there. Jeremy Brooks following there. Looks like he's trying hard to catch up with him, and now Kelly Admiral seems to be catching up with the leaders once again. Running strong. We've had a good bunch of green laps here. Good fighting at the lead. Ooh, a little bit of a connection issue for the leader. McGregor showing himself, jumping out of line to intimidate. Kelly Admiral hanging on to 3rd. Kevin Dick in 4th. He brought Ray Murnau with him along to pass Kyle Steckley. And it looks like Kyle's struggling a little bit more now. Sliding off of that turn, he catches it beautifully, but it costs you. If you slide in like that, you're going to lose a lot of speed. Murnau fighting that car on the curb there a little bit. Thomas McGregor behind the leader. And we're on lap 62, so we're just a little bit further than halfway. Nagy hanging on. Thomas McGregor, Kelly Admiral, Kevin Dick, Ray Murnau, Kyle Steckley seems to be losing some car lengths now on the guys in front of him. Jeremy Brooks seems to be catching up with Kyle Steckley, damaged right front of that car. Jody Archer, 4 seconds, almost 5 seconds behind Jeremy Brooks on his own. Then it's Tom Queering hanging on to 9th position. Colton Evernham has dropped back to 10th. Brent Just by himself. Justin McLeod by himself. Then it's Jewel and Forsyth in 13th and 14th. And Dean Qualley is hanging on to 15th position. He's been leapt by the leaders. And let's see if we can find out what happened to the 90 car. The 90 car has gone to the pit. Carson Nagy is hanging on to that lead. Thomas McGregor giving him a hard time, giving him a run for his money. Very exciting. Kelly Admiral dropped back a little bit again. Kevin Dick and Ray Murnau now on his tail. Looks like the 8's running a little bit higher there. Jeremy Brooks seems to be closing in on Kyle Steckley slowly but surely, and then Kyle Steckley is not giving up. He's trying really hard not to lose too much ground on Ray Murnau. And he scrapes the wall there and loses some speed that causes Jeremy Brooks to catch up with him here. Let's bring her back up here to the leaders. Nagy still holding off Thomas McGregor. Kelly Admiral. It looks like Kelly has got a bit of distance on Murnau. Murnau has passed Kevin Dick for the 4th position. Running very, very strong. Kevin Dick 5th. Kyle Steckley 6th. And Jeremy Brooks in 7th position. And let's bring her back up here because I think Ray Murnau is having big plans here for that purple car. And Thomas McGregor is still on that rear bumper of the 93. Fight for the lead. It looks like they're settling down there between them a little bit and pulling some distance on the guys behind them. Ray Murnau now passing for the 3rd position. Kelly still on the high side. We know he can run strong on that high side. But Ray Murnau runs strong on pretty much every side, and he picks up that 3rd spot. Kelly Admiral drops back a position, and he's got Kevin Dick right behind him now. And Kyle Steckley is still trying hard to catch back up with these guys. Nagy still in the lead. McGregor on his rear bumper. Ray Murnau now in 3rd position. Can he catch up with McGregor? Kelly Admiral hanging on to that 4th spot. Kevin Dick right behind him. And it looks like Kyle Steckley and Jeremy Brooks are catching up with this group here. They're going to make this interesting. It looks like the 53 gets off the turn a little bit better than the 24. But the 24 dives in pretty deep and makes up for that lost ground right there. And Carson Nagy hanging on to that lead here. McGregor in 2nd. Murnau, it looks definitely to me that Murnau is catching up. We gotta take a closer look on that gap here. It's right around a 2nd now. Let's see if he can make that gap a little bit smaller. Kelly Admiral is hanging with him. And it looks like Kevin Dick is losing a couple of car lengths on Admiral now. Kyle Steckley still about the same distance to Kevin Dick. He catches up in the turns and he loses it coming out. The 53 hangs with the 24 there. Very good. That's Jeremy Brooks. Let's take a look further back. The 46 of Tom Queering. And he's running in front of Colton Evernham for 8th and 9th. Further back, it's Jody Archer, Brent Just, Justin McLeod, a little bit further back than that. And the leaders are coming up on more back markers now. And that's the 28 of Brennan Forsythe making way. That's the way we like to see it. The 92 is next. And let's see if they can take advantage of these back markers here. But it looks like the back markers are doing a great job not to interfere with the fights up front. The 93 and the 75 still hanging on to each other. It's almost like there's a towing cable in between there. Kelly Admiral passes the back marker. Kevin Dick coming right along with him. That's for 3rd and 4th. And then it looks like Steckley, same thing. He gets underneath that 92 into turn 1 here. And a 53 hanging with Steckley. Unchanged situation up front here. Thomas McGregor hanging on to that back bumper of the 93. Carson Nagy. Oh, Carson scrapes the wall, loses some speed, and dives to the inside in defense to avoid the 75 getting underneath him. But the 75 is trying hard enough, and Murnau seems to be catching up with these guys. Ray Murnau, he's got plans of his own, I'm sure. Right there with the 75. Carson Nagy cannot afford to make mistakes like that because he'll be run over by 2 cars right behind him. Kelly Admiral now in 4th position, holding off Kevin Dick with a couple car lengths between there. Kyle Steckley losing a little bit of ground. Jeremy Brooks trying to hang with Steckley. And now it looks like Nagy has recovered himself a little bit. Another back marker. That's the 22 of Justin McLeod. It's going to be... Oh, and the 75 now trying once again. And they touch. The 93 washes up to the high side, and he has to let McGregor and Murnau go. Murnau is now going for the lead on the inside of the 75. Can he make that work? Yes, he can. He picks up the lead. Amazing stuff here. The 22 is kind of in their way there. There's nothing he can... Oh no! Oh no! Unbelievable. What is happening here? Let's bring that back a little bit further. It's the 03 coming underneath the 75. The 22 has no place to go but outside, and that's where he is. The 75 is trying to run through him and then collects the 03. Let's bring her back once more. It was Nagy that lost the lead to these two guys, and Murnau fighting hard to take advantage of the confusion. Right away, the 75 runs into the back of the 22, gets unbalanced, and collects the 03 with him. Oh boy, everybody to the pits now. We all need new tires. Kevin Dick, Jeremy Brooks, Justin McLeod is still out there. Ray Murnau in the pits. Thomas McGregor in the pits. Evernham in the pits. Brent Just. Jody Archer. And Brandon Forsyth in the pits. David Rockwood in the pits. Rob Naismith in the pits. Carson Nagy opted to stay out. That gives him back the lead. We're on lap 84. So we're nearing the final stages of this race here. We've got 17 laps to go. And it makes me wonder if they are going to need fuel. I don't believe they're going to need fuel. But fresh tires would be a good idea if this is going to go to the finish here. But I guess Nagy is preferring track position over fresh tires. He picks that lead up again, and it's Kelly Admiral right behind him. Kyle Steckley is running third now. Ray Murnau is shown in fourth, and that means that the 98 is a lap down. Logan Jewell in the 92 is in fifth position. He got through all that stuff unscathed, it looks like. Jeremy Brooks in sixth. McGregor is in seventh. Evernham in eighth. Kevin Dick in ninth. Brent Just in 10th. Cody Archer in 11th. Dean Qualley a lap down, and he's running in between the leaders here. And it looks like he has to drop back to the end of the line. So we've had a bunch of guys in the pits. Carson Nagy and Kelly Admiral were not among them, and Dean Qualley opted to stay out as well. And it looks like Kelly is really eager to get going, and he looks in good shape. He's still got a pretty clean car. Same for Nagy, by the way. And then Kelly Admiral, Kyle Steckley, he's looking a little bit more messed up. Ray Murnau is given fourth position already because of the coming off the pits in front of the rest of them. So he's still not done, I'm sure. Lights on the pace car are out. They're lining them up. Pace car goes in, and the 8 and the 93 are already touching. The 8 tries to go ahead of him, and then the 93 hits the gas. He picks up the lead once again. Kelly Admiral on the high side, the 53 on his inside, and then it's Steckley and Murnau right there with him. Steckley still has that blinking issue. I hope that's not going to hurt him. It's the 53 of Jeremy Brooks in second position now, fighting off Kelly Admiral and Kyle Steckley behind there. Steckley still on the inside of the 8. Murnau right there with him, trying to get underneath the 8 as well. As soon as Kyle Steckley can get past, then it's Thomas McGregor in the 48, and he's got Colton Evernham there as well. I'm sorry, that's McGregor in the 75 with Evernham in the 48. Oh, and Evernham gets... let's see what happened here. I think they were all trying to stop for what was happening. Oh, it's a mess up front. Let's bring that back a little bit further. The 53 is behind the 93. Coming off the turn here. What is going on? The 53 diving to the inside. The 93 defending, and he was not clear. He touches the 53, turns himself around. It's Steckley and the 8, and then everybody is refusing to let go of the throttle, and it becomes a big, big mess. And it looks to me like the 22 was one of the few cars that were just slowing down for the mess in front of him. So, surprise, surprise, lap 91, we have 10 laps to go, and it's Kyle Steckley in front. He picks that lead up from Jeremy Brooks here, Ray Murnau in third, and Colton Evernham in fourth. That is a good job. He picked up 9 positions since the start of the race just by hanging in there and running his laps the way he's supposed to, trying to stay out of trouble. Then it's Brent just behind Evernham. It's Kevin Dick, and the 22 gets the wave around. It's Jody Archer in 7th in the number 7 car. Thomas McGregor is shown in 8th behind the left car of David Rockwood. And further back here, the 92 of Logan Jewell shown in 9th. Kelly Admiral in 10th, so he lucked out there quite a bit. The 093 of Carson Nagy is in 11th, and he did go into the pit just like Kelly Admiral did. And Brandon Forsyth running in the 14th position, and it looks like Queering has parked it. David Rockwood in the 90, he's still running. Naismith in the pits in the 71. He's the final running car. So let's see if we can take this to the checkered flag here. It'll be a short sprint. It seems to me that in a lot of these races in the Saskatchewan Stock Car Racing Championship, we get these little sprints to the finish. And yeah, we anticipated a little bit more green flag racing and more discipline, but the guys they're fighting hard. They're not giving up their positions that easily, and you can't really blame them because that's what this game is all about. Lights on the pace car will probably be going out right now. Yes, indeed. Steckley on the inside, Brooks on the outside, Ray Murnau on the inside behind Steckley. And then it's Evernham in the 4th spot. And then Brent Just and Kevin Dick. And then Jody Archer and Thomas McGregor. And I'm sure Thomas McGregor is going to try really hard to bring it back up there. So let's keep an eye here on Kyle Steckley. He's the one that sets the pace. A little bit of trading paints already. There he goes. He picks up the pace, but the 53 is right along with him. Jeremy Brooks on his outside. Can he pick up the lead here? It looks like he's nosing ahead. And unfortunately, Steckley's still blinking a little bit, and that's not easy for Mr. Brooks to deal with. And the same for Ray Murnau. Where can you place your car? Ooh, and then Evernham gets in the back of Murnau. Murnau saves it once again. He's good at that. He is good at that. The 53 still alongside Steckley, fighting for the lead. They're rubbing a little bit there. Rubbing is racing is what they say. And then Jeremy Brooks seems to nose ahead, but Steckley gets it back on the inside. When they get into the turn, Steckley is gone. Oh, I hope that connection is coming back for him, because that would be a shame if that is gone. That happens every once in a while. If the connection loses out, then you're just out of the race. Done. I guess you could call that the digital form of a blown engine. Ray Murnau is in the lead. Thomas McGregor and Jeremy Brooks now fighting for that second spot. The 53 on the high side. it's Thomas McGregor that has it on the low side right now. Kevin Dick is mixing himself in there on the low side of the 53. He wants more. He's in third position now. Can he make it stick? And it looks like the 53 is hanging on desperately, but Kevin Dick is moving in single file now behind the 75. The 8 has worked his way back up to fifth position already. Kelly Admiral giving the 53 a run for his money once again. Kelly on the high side. We know he runs strong there. 53 still in fourth. Kelly going underneath. No, he's not close enough now. Ray Murnau in the lead. Couple of car lengths on Thomas McGregor. Kevin Dick in third. And that was all she wrote. That was a short dash for the cash, and I apologize. I missed the white flag and I missed the checker flag, but that was it. And another one at the Saskatchewan Stock Car Racing Championship is in the books. And let's bring her up here. And we have to wait for the last Roland car to finish. And there she is, the feature results of your fifth round in the Saskatchewan Stock Car Championship. And let's look at some donuts here first. It's Ray Murnau burning some rubber. The 75 and the 10 right there with him. And the 90, he just needs to bring it back to the pit lane. All right, let's bring up your results here. Ray Murnau puts it on the top spot of the podium. He is your winner, only 4/10 of a second faster than Thomas McGregor on the line. Kevin Dick brings it home in third position, and that is pretty good considering where he came from. Jeremy Brooks, Kelly Admiral, Jody Archer, Brent Just, Logan Jewell, Justin McLeod, Carson Nagy, 10 cars on the lead lap. That's pretty amazing. Then it's Dean Qualley in the 11th spot, Forsyth, Steckley, Evernham, Queering, Rockwood, and Naismith. And Matthew Shirley is classified as 18th with 70 laps down. Let's see if we can bring back Ray Murnau here in the replay. No, it will not let me do that. So that's it for your race here in Martensville with the Saskatchewan Stock Car Championship. Once again, Ray Murnau, Thomas McGregor, Kevin Dick, your top three finishers. And let's see if we can get a word in from Jordan real quick. Are you there, Jordan? No, Jordan's not there. So we're going to leave it at that. The fifth round of the Saskatchewan Stock Car Championship in Martensville. Murnau, McGregor, Dick, your top three finishers. This is Short Shift Broadcasting. My name is Mark. We once again acknowledge our sponsor, Travis Queering Realtor, for the support for this race. Next week, we will be going back to dirt, and we're going to be doing so at the USA International Speedway. Same time, different place. We hope to see you back again then, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's race. And stay safe out there. See you next week.